to my channel. For today's distance Reiki session, we're going to be focusing on something that a few of you have shared in the comments that you've been moving through, and that is in some way something like you, your partner, your parent, your child has, been hurt in some way, is sick, whatever it might be, but you have had to step into the role of caregiver or healer. And as a result of that, you're feeling like maybe a little run down. Fatigue is really kind of the baseline for you now. This has been shared many, many times since I've started my channel, but just this idea and this feeling that you've been sort of thrust into this role of a healer, and you are just feeling a little bit like you're losing maybe a sense of identity, or you're not feeling as empowered as you would like. So this session here is not so much a session for healing the healer, but rather empowering you to really step into the role of healer. Okay, so maybe this might not be one that resonates with all of you, certainly, but hopefully, because I'll be engaging in some relaxing ASMR style triggers and things here, hopefully you'll find it supportive wherever you are in your healing journey. Hope you're doing as well as possible. Alright, let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to start by lighting a little bit of sage and moving through, doing a little bit of clearing with some smoke. Sage bundle that I think has lasted me like 50 years or something. It is so old, and it just lasts a really long time, which is good. So I'm gonna light this, and if you are participating a little bit more in the session, maybe you want to light something, incense, or do a little bit of clearing on your own, however you choose to do that. Okay, and so we have our bundle lit here. And we're going to use the smoke to clear and cleanse. Clear and cleanse. Clear and cleanse. And if there's anything that you'd like to offer up to be cleared here, feel free to do so now. If there's anything that you're sort of feeling like you want to release, you've been working on releasing, energetically, this is a great and very supportive time to help you release that, clearing and cleansing. So when we're doing this kind of releasing, clearing, cleansing, purifying, you can really think about things that maybe you've been in the process of and working towards releasing in your life. Things that you really want to release. Maybe you want to release some resentments. Maybe you want to release some procrastination, or you're feeling a little lazy, and this is something that you've wanted to release. This is in support of that. So energetically, we are working sort of together here to release, clear and cleanse, release, clear and cleanse, offering it up to be released, offering that energy up. Gorgeous. All right, now I would like to light our candle and set our intention. So again, if you would like to participate a little bit more, you could light a candle and set your own intention here. It's also an opportunity if you are not, if this subject doesn't resonate with you, this is an opportunity for you to kind of engage in your own sort of aspect of this process. So if you wanted to either connect with healing yourself or whatever it might be. So we're going to use these little incense matches to light our candle and set our intention. So sorry for any of you who have been thrust into this position. It's usually out of some kind of tragedy, whatever that might be, or one of you is, your husband had surgery and you've had to really step up in terms of taking care of the kids and stuff like that. So I know that this is not the easiest time for you, and so through this, I think my hope is that through encouraging this kind of empowerment within you to really step into the role of a healer, that you can find and provide comfort for yourself, which you really need as you do this kind of work. So we're going to light our little incense match and then use it to light our candle and set our intention. But I'm sorry for any of you who are moving through challenging time, whatever it might be. Just know that I'm sending you love and support. Love and support. Okay. All right. So on behalf of your highest, wisest, most empowered and aligned self, in loving comfort and perfect balance, I wish to conduct this distance Reiki session for stepping into the role of a healer, for becoming a healer. And, this built-in empowerment into our intention. So it's providing a foundation of empowerment with our intention, but I really want to boost that. I really want this session to feel incredibly empowering to you, that you are a healer, we all are, and that there are ways that you can learn and grow through the process of stepping into your power as a healer. I think it can be incredibly empowering, and I hope to provide support as you embark on that journey. So light your own candle and set your own intention if you feel called to. Now I'm going to light some incense, and we are going to use that intention and the flame to seal and preserve that intention, and then we'll be clearing anything that's not in service of that intention. So clearing anything that's not in service of that intention. Clearing and cleansing, clearing and cleansing, clearing and cleansing. Thank you to everyone who's been joined over on Aura. I don't know if you've seen that, but I mentioned it in a session, I think a couple weeks ago or whatever, that I started working with Aura, which is a meditation app, and I'm one of their coaches, so I have some meditations and soundscapes and stuff over there. Some of them are for sleep, some of them are for other things, but that's been really fun, and so you have a few of you come over there. It's been really cool. So thank you, and for anybody who's interested, I've been leaving a link in the description box. This isn't sponsored or anything by them. They don't know I'm talking about this, but there's a guest pass, and so I'll leave that all linked down below, and it's a 30-day free guest pass, so you can go and check it out and for 30 days for free and see if you want to do it. The only aspect of it that's connected is that it's an affiliate link. So if you do end up signing up, I get a percentage of that. But beyond that, you can you can go and check it out. And I think it's a really cool, it's a really cool app, and I really have been enjoying working with them. So anyway, I do a few guided sort of you're in my Reiki room kind of thing. And so I was reminded of that just because of the clearing and cleansing. I was doing that earlier in one of the meditations. So anyway, clearing and cleansing here. Clearing and cleansing, clearing and cleansing, clearing and cleansing. So I'm going to stay about a foot away from your heart center, and I'm going to draw the sacred symbols here. I'm going to be drawing the master symbol several times through this session to really empower you, really connect and align you with your higher self. Isn't the smoke mesmerizing? Just moving throughout your aura, just letting the smoke fill you up. Gorgeous. So now what I'd like to do is start to invite a few different stones in. So I'm not going to be using kind of traditional stones of the healer, stones for healing the healer, supportive stones for the healer. This is going to be a lot about kind of empowerment, and specifically that role of being thrust into a healing role, a healing situation, and really helping you to feel comfortable, confident, and empowered in that role. So one of the first stones that I really think of whenever I think of this is bloodstone. I think bloodstone is a great stone of compassion and benevolence. It's a great stone for kind of balancing the heart chakra, releasing judgment, stepping into the role of, really helping you step into the role of nurturer, healer, and all of that. And so I wanna start by placing this stone, it's a little baby stone, and placing this on your heart center there, so that we have this lovely kind of foundation of benevolence in this session. Balancing the heart, I think, is going to be a really powerful aspect of this. The next two stones I'd like to invite in are more to do with that connection to those who are in need, who you are helping, nurturing, caring for. And these are oftentimes, in my practice, I use them for collaborations, or if I'm, working intimately with somebody, or if there's maybe someone with whom I am not meshing energetically. I usually start to practice with these stones. This is a ruby and fuchsite, and this is a unikite. And both of these have a real sense of harmony, unity, balance. There's a beautiful sense of kind of acceptance and forgiveness, finding the you within them and the them within you, and really seeing the light, that namaste energy happening, where you see the light in them, and that can be reflected back as well. So I really wanted to use these two to really help you connect with. Sometimes when you're healing somebody, it's you don't need to feel any guilt or shame about this, but it can be really inconvenient. You have to put aside a lot of your own work that you're doing, a lot of things that you maybe want to do, and you have to step into that role of healer. And there's just an energetic shift that happens, right? So it can be a time that's sort of rife with opportunities for resentment. And I'd like to do a session on resentment here. I think that'll pair really well with my series on addiction, so I've been thinking about maybe adding it to that, which will be coming. But I really wanted to, help you connect and just kind of validate you in the sense of, like, it might be possible that you are feeling judgmental of this person, or that you're feeling and not thinking logically, and when you really sit down with it, you're like, oh, but that might invite a lot of shame, that might invite just all kinds of things. And just know that that's just your kind of defense mechanism. That's your self-preservation that's sitting there screaming like, I need healing too, I need attention too, I need this stuff too, really trying to protect yourself, really maybe thinking or feeling that certain boundaries you've set in your life are being crossed in some way. And while I think when you're in a situation like this where you're stepping into the role of caregiver, boundaries are really important, because you have to really take care of yourself while you're taking care of this person. Otherwise, it's like, putting the oxygen mask on before you help somebody else. If you don't have that on, you're not going to be, you're not going to have anything to give. But so this is really about just sort of connecting with, okay, these thoughts and feelings might come up, resentments, thoughts like that. That doesn't mean I'm a bad person. It's what I act on and what I choose to focus on here that's important. And so if you're starting to feel in any way burdened by resentments or judgments, just try to recognize that this is a beautiful opportunity for you. I'm not saying it's not challenging, incredibly challenging, but it can be a beautiful opportunity for you to really heal a part of yourself that has and holds those judgments and resentments. Really give love to that space that's feeling a little bit threatened by this kind of work. And I think as you do this and embark upon this journey, a really important aspect here could be setting a self-care, self-love routine for yourself. I have a video on that. I can link that below. But setting that kind of routine for yourself, even if it means just kind of standing, placing your hands on your heart, and standing for just a few moments with yourself and repeating maybe some affirmations, maybe even listening to affirmations, and just really reconnecting with who you are, with your own love of self, your own worthiness for care and compassion and love, and really your personal empowerment, how strong you are, how strong you've had to be, and really giving yourself the kind of love and nurturing that you need. So just sending this kind of unity and harmony, recognizing that you, in a sense, that you are this person is you, and you are this other person. So we can find a balance here. We can release the shame of feeling, bad about all of, any thoughts that might come up, and recognize that our thoughts don't define us. We don't have to believe everything we think. We don't have to believe everything we feel. That these thoughts might come up, but they don't define you. You get to decide what defines you. And you have agency over how you're going to respond to these thoughts, these feelings, to your partner or your parent or whoever it is, your friends, or if you are a professional caregiver and you are someone who has recently stepped into this role, maybe you've just gotten a job as a nurse or as a doctor or some kind of professional medical healer, or you're in a situation where you're kind of healing, or maybe you're stepping into the role of a spiritual healer, whatever it might be, and just recognizing that you have a tremendous gift, tremendous compassion, and just recognizing that there's space for you in this as well. That rather than feeling thrust into this, really recognize that you are stepping into this role every day that you have to do these things, you can step into it. It's sort of the difference of how you want to enter the arena. Head held high, cared for, protected, stretched and ready to go? Or is it more that you're sort of reluctantly being kind of dragged in or pulled into this situation? Seems like it might be the same, but I think our intention and how we step into it and move into it can really shift all of that for us and really shift and shape our experience in a different way. And I hazard a guess that it can shift and shape the experience of those who we are helping, nurturing, caring for as well. If we come into it, people are so in tune to energies, even without knowing that they are. But they might start feeling really bad if you are coming in with that kind of judgment or resentment or whatever. And so we just want to recognize that this healing that we're doing is going to be beneficial all around. But it's okay, life is hard. It's okay. You don't need to beat yourself up or feel shame for these thoughts. But we do want to have a place for them and a space for them. Okay. And recognizing the truth of any situation can be really helpful. That you're, helping this individual who really needs your assistance, and whom is probably when we're not doing well. Sometimes we can fall out of alignment for a number of reasons. There can be a great deal of shame as well in needing to ask for help. You can feel a great deal of shame for having to burden somebody. So it can cause a real kind of disruption. So we want to invite this harmony and balance and recognition that there but by the grace of God go I, there but by the grace of the universe go I could be in the exact situation and the roles could be reversed. So energetically, this is the hand you were dealt. But if the deck was shuffled differently, you would have received a different hand. And do, make the most of what you've got. And I think through this, you are. And this too shall pass. This too shall pass. So I'm going to place these on either side of your body, just outside of your heart center, to the right and to the left. And that way we can really bring in a supportive energy. We have our bloodstone, unakite, and ruby and fuchsite. So very supported area in the heart space, which I think is where the majority of this kind of work and healing is going to be for you. It's going to be about setting boundaries for yourself, caring for yourself, and really aligning, healing, and balancing the heart space so that you can have, ample stores of energy for yourself and for the individual who you are helping, and so that you can really align and balance any resentments that might come up. So I'm now going to place this lapis lazuli on your third eye. And I wanted to bring this stone in for following your intuition. I think through this kind of healing work, sometimes it really is about following that intuition, listening to your intuition. Sometimes those who we are helping aren't able to communicate what they need, and so following your intuition, opening up the channel so that you can be more receptive to this individual or individuals, and really doing your best to connect with. There's a real empowered energy in lapis. There's like this sort of regal energy here, and it has a very, I think, high priestess vibe. It's just very empowered, very, royal, regal, intuitive healer. It's a lovely stone. It's got a little flecks of pyrite in there. And I think that this can be a beautiful way of you empowering yourself in that role. And just saying, this is a really energetically a very special thing to connect to somebody, because it's so vulnerable when somebody is sick or healing or needs help. That's such a vulnerable position to be in. So what a gift that you're given to be able to witness that vulnerability, meet it with humility and grace, and help that person. To be asked to help, it takes so much courage from the one asking. And it takes a great amount of grace and humility, a great amount of resilience, I think, to be able to step into that role. So we want to have empowering energy, intuitive energy, connected energy. I think lapis is going to be really supportive for that. So I'm placing this right on your third eye there. Sending this beautiful energy all the way around, swirling all the way through with this little beautiful specks, glimmering specks. Really providing some beautiful light as you do this work. And now I'd like to call in some protective stones. So any of those negative kind of thoughts that we were talking about when we were kind of covering the heart space, any of those negative thoughts, negative feelings that are starting to creep in, and maybe you're starting to attach to them, connect with them. Maybe you're starting to believe them a little bit. think that's when you can really use a stone like black tourmaline. This is a very protective stone, but it's also a great stone for kind of placing any negative energies into the stone, and it will kind of sort of like suck up that energy like a vacuum, like suck that energy up. And then you can very thoroughly clear the stone, but this can be like sort of a receptacle, like a trash receptacle for any of those negative thoughts. So if you're feeling particularly triggered, or maybe you're just feeling a little irritated or a little annoyed, maybe it's not as dramatic as building resentments or anything like that, but maybe you're just feeling a little irritated, I think this can be a great practice for you, is to just kind of like take the stones, maybe whisper the, whatever it is that into the stones, and just kind of place them far away. You could place them in a bowl of salt or on another stone that's a cleansing stone, and just make sure that you clear it and cleanse it. But if you don't have time in that moment, just kind of whisper any resentments in there, and then just place your hands on your heart after you've kind of done that intentional clearing, removal. Place your hands on your heart and just say a few truths. I love this person. I am honored that they are vulnerable with me. I am honored that they trust me to help them. I am honored that I am empowered enough to step into this role. I'm so grateful that I am strong and healthy to help. So kind of releasing and then reconnecting with what we want, releasing the energies that we don't necessarily want, and then reconnecting with those that we do. So I think these can be really helpful and really powerful. Something like a black tourmaline. I would say you could do it with something like maybe a selenite, kind of that same process of whispering, but primarily I would suggest tourmaline. I think that's your best bet. So I'm going to place these actually outside of your hips. Outside of your hips here, and just let that energy like swirl in and around, grounding you, protecting you, and just providing this kind of like vacuum for any of that negativity, negative talk, negative thoughts, any of those that might be coming up. And just recognizing that you're only human. That's really, really is natural. Don't beat yourself up about it. But you don't have to act on those thoughts and feelings. You don't have to start to believe those thoughts and feelings. You can reconnect with kind of that empowered version of yourself that you really want to step into here. So now I'm going to place these two stones. This sounds really nice in person. I hope it sounds nice on the mics. But place these two stones in your hands and really kind of cleanse and purify your energy. Really opening up channels here. Placing one stone facing you and the other stone facing outward. So it really creates this like fluid, energetic movement happening throughout your energy body. So placing one facing in and then the other facing out in the palms of your hands. And then the last stone that I wanted to place is this howlite, great for relaxation, stress relief, because it can be very stressful. So just know that you're supported, you are deserving of your own stress relief, your own version of stress relief. So I'm going to place this right on the very top of your head there, sending that beautiful energy like swirling all throughout your body. Okay. Gorgeous, peaceful, calm, soothing energy. Now I have this little piece of driftwood, and I'm going to use this to draw the the master symbol outside of your chakra points. And this should provide a balance. This should provide a sense of empowerment, really connecting with an alignment of higher self, higher ideals. We're going to start here at the crown. And if you feel called to, you can place a hand on your heart center here, really taking this time for yourself. Grounded, you are centered, you are balanced. So now I would like to invite in this Septarian to really help you establish and set boundaries for yourself around this so that you can take care of yourself through this process, so that you can feel rested, rejuvenated, strong, confident, empowered, so that you can do your own healing, engage in all of the rituals and things that you need to make you the best version of yourself, to help you align with the best, highest version of yourself, so that you can then step into a situation feeling better. Because very often when we're feeling bad, it's so easy to be more quickly triggered, to become more irritable, irascible. It's so much easier to kind of connect with those lower vibrations if we don't have the time and space to really empower ourselves. And this doesn't have to be a grand, luxurious morning routine with turmeric lattes and things like that. I don't know why I just thought of that. But it can be a much more subtle, much more simple thing. Taking time in the morning for yourself, inviting in a gratitude practice, even if that just means lying there and just starting to call to mind things that you're genuinely grateful for in your life. And really, this can help us so much really show up in the way that I think is probably the most helpful and the most nurturing as a healer, I think, which is to show up, to arrive in presence. When we can show up for somebody and be present with them, present with their pain, present with their anxieties, present with their insecurities, I think that presence is such a gift of love, and I think it has so much healing power. So I think this kind of empowering practice, whatever it is that you engage in, if you need to take a walk, if you need to really sit with yourself, maybe you need to take some time, carve some space out for yourself to eat a little bit healthier, get your little, morning coffee, and whatever it is that you need to do to help you feel connected with your wants, your needs, help you, so that your feelings in this situation and your healing doesn't kind of get lost. I think setting boundaries can really help you solidify the importance of your healing as well here. And then you can more confidently step into that role. And with more presence, hopefully. Morning meditation. Hey, that would be ideal, right? A morning meditation before you go and care for and nurture another. That would be wonderful. So whatever it is that you need, be in tune and in touch with that and try your best to provide it for yourself. So moving the septarian through. Great supportive stone for boundaries. Great stone for personal empowerment. Most septarian has little flecks of yellow calcite or yellow jasper, and so it's a very empowering stone. It's got aragonite in it as well. Great for kind of taking any of those, sporadic bursts of maybe negative energy or judgment or resentment or irritability or whatever it might be, and compartmentalizing it, saying, okay, yes, I'm feeling this way and it's probably because of this, and I have agency over my actions. I control how I respond. I have control over this, and now I can have a reminder of where to place this energy. I can place this energy somewhere because it needs a place to go, obviously, or it wouldn't come up. Okay, gorgeous. So really connecting with our sense of boundaries, boundaried action, boundaried compassion, having so much compassion, and also taking care of yourself, compassion for another, compassion for yourself. It's just this whole process. It's sticky, it's, can be really challenging, very tricky, sticky and tricky, but I think it can be a real opportunity for balancing an area that we don't always get an opportunity to balance. Holding your needs, wants, your, compassion for yourself, care for yourself on one foot, and then on the other foot, the other person, their needs and wants, and your compassion for them on that foot. And then in order to move forward on this path, we have to have both, to have a balance of both. They can exist together. It's a very integrated kind of philosophy here. Okay, gorgeous. We are going to now use our owl rattle to invite in a thick, protective aura, a very buoyant aura. This can be a nice thing for you to do, even if you just kind of run through your aura, fluffing your aura up. As you do so, you can even say affirmations to yourself before you go in, and then empower yourself here. And just know you're doing a wonderful job. You're human. It might be uncomfortable or whatever, but you're doing a wonderful job. And do your best not to invite any shame into this space. Easier said than done, but you're doing the best you can. You're only human, and it's a wonderful thing what you're able to do to help another. Maybe you're not resonating with the shame aspect here. Well, this could just be that fatigue, that real exhausted energy. Just connecting with okay, there's a reason I'm doing this. There's a reason that I want to help. Okay. Starting at the crown and moving down. Thank you so much for joining me. It's always an honor connecting with you, and just know that I'm sending you so much love and support. I'm so proud of you, and yeah, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. You are divine. You are connected. You are expressive. You are loved. You are loving. You are strong. You are emotionally available. You are safe. You are safe. Okay, I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day or night. I hope you find this helpful and supportive. And I'm sending you so much love. And until we meet again, be so well. Can you come up on the pillow? She just wants cuddles. Come on. For today's video, I just wanted to do a little chakra activation. And just doing a little bit of balancing and aligning. But this is a new kind of video for me. I usually speak directly to the collective instead of the individual, so that always happens when I'm trying to do it like up here. Perspective. Maybe your perspective on things is a little clouded at the moment. I'm not sure if that resonates with you, but that's what I'm getting here. I love metallic sounds. It's like clicky clacky sounds. But it does have kind of a funny smell. I'm not gonna lie, when I first used it I was like, what is that? But amethyst is a really great spiritually aligned stone. It can help with clarity, mental fog, really helps us see soberly. Invite some more mindfulness and some of this energy work that we've been engaging in.